valley was at least 3 miles below. As time went on and we became more established, we were able to have a horse, a cow, and a few chickens right on the mission's property. Mary and Marie are checking out the native activities and preparing a feast at the mission for the natives. The man in the white shirt was Reverend Monty. He and his wife spoke English well. They interpreted for us and were our helpers, our friends, and co-workers. This is in front of the Mount Prayer Mission, looking in the back of the truck. We were about to return to Pondaland. Our girls had been staying with the Wilsons for a few months, going to the village school. They loved dressing up in the clothes and hats from the clothing bales from headquarters in the States. They loved riding in the back of the truck, although it was usually full of staple supplies such as gas, kerosene, and boxes of canned goods and unperishables. A young heathen native man resting in the shade of the truck, which was here to carry the sand to the mission, which had been brought 5 miles from the valley below in bags on donkeys' backs. This was to be used to build the mission home. That's Marie in our kitchen at Good Hope Mission. The kerosene refrigerator is on her right. We had a kerosene stove to cook on. We were so grateful for these conveniences, and the good Lord even provided us with Pepsi. What a comfort and joy to play and sing the wonderful songs of the church. I used it often in the services and wherever we went. It was a good substitute for a piano. Many hours were devoted to the winning of souls in the services and visiting in homes, and that's what we were there to do. But we looked forward to working in our garden. The soil was rich and grew beautiful vegetables in season like green beans and potatoes and corn. A view of the mountains right behind our home on the mission, and a little native boy evidently looking for something in the trash. Unfortunately, he was frightened and ran away. Another feast on a beef is planned. The natives have their own way of preparing it. The natives are gathering for a service. Sometimes they prefer to be outside, sitting on the ground. They listened intently and quietly, but often it was difficult for them to understand. It just was too good to be true. The love of Jesus. How could it be for them, they wondered. We had driven across the mountain several miles. No road, no signs, no fences. We stopped under the trees and held a service. A number of Christians would often go along with us. They have received the Lord. They're singing, they're happy, and anxious to share the good news. After the service, we'd spread our blankets on the ground to rest and enjoy our picnic lunch. The natives gather at the trading stores for supplies and gossip. The lady is the store owner. Here the natives are waiting for the services to begin. More natives at the store. This was a place they loved to congregate. Native Christians are carrying the gospel to the people in their homes. They walk the dusty paths barefooted, carrying their supplies and singing the love of Jesus at the top of their voices. I wish I could sing like the natives did. I can't begin to. They had such wonderful voices. But this is one of the choruses they used to sing all the time. his helpers are en route to a service nearby. A large crowd had gathered. Once again, it's time to learn more about Jesus. They are eager to listen again and again. At this outstation church, the congregation waited after the service for this picture. Sometimes the groups are smaller, but the message is the same. On the woodpile is a PA system which is operated on the truck battery. It was also used to play records and attract the people to come for services. They had no clocks. They were afraid of this at first. They watched from a distance fearfully and then would come closer smiling like we had played a silly joke on them. What is it like inside these mud houses they called home? There was no furniture, no bed, no chairs. You sat on a grass mat on the floor, which was smoothly plastered with cow manure. At night you curl up on the mat and wrap a blanket around you. These ladies are Christians. Their clothing is from the clothes bales donated by the missionary societies in the States. They are barefooted, but they are smiling because they found the Lord. What a difference it makes. Visiting missionaries accompanied us to our outstation church. It was a special treat to have them, and they were always willing to assist in any way they could. Back at the mission, repairs need to be made. Marie sees the action with her bike in hand, which we brought from overseas. This group filled this church to overflowing. Adlie stands on the back row. His interpreter, the native local school teacher, stands on the right on the back row. It was another visit to Mount Frere. The black lady was my daily helper. She couldn't speak a word of English, but she loved the Lord. Her name was Seraphina. She lived down the mountain near Good Hope Mission, attended all the services, and came to help me every day. This young man was converted and called into the ministry. He left his possessions in the city. Only a few things he brought with his family to minister to this area and to build a church. The bricks are mud and will have a grass thatched roof. This is the school principal with his school children in front of the school and church on Good Hope Mission. He taught grades 1 through 6 in one big room. After services on one Sunday, our missionary band women and our visiting missionaries stood in front of the church for this picture. People came to our services from miles around, walking the steep and dusty paths over the mountains, eager to hear the gospel. During a very spirit-filled meeting, one band woman wipes the tears. These women have declared their faith and have joined the women's group of the church who wear their uniforms, testify and assist in visitation and prayer services. The moment was electrifying as the Lord's Spirit met with us here and in many similar occasions. People felt the power of the Lord and they knelt before Him and pleaded His mercies. There was great rejoicing, and we were so happy to have this privilege to minister to these precious souls. This is why we were here. It's worth it all, even if just one made it to heaven. Our district superintendent, Reverend Bonner, came to visit us and the school principal, and soon after we were transferred again to the white ministry several hundred miles away to build a new church in Parsonage. This is the cornerstone of the church. This is the parsonage. It was a lot better here for the family. The girls went to the local public school. I recovered from stomach problems and enjoyed working with the youth and in the music department. We were seeing new converts also. The youth met in regular services every week in the large room over the garage. Some of these same youth later became ministers and missionaries and are still serving in that capacity today. Along with the building program in Port Shepston and establishing the work there, we were also involved with the Emmanuel Mission Bible School in a rural area 30 miles away. As soon as help could come, we once again left the city with its conveniences for the more and difficult life. The girls stayed in town in a boarding school. We picked them up on weekends. It was a beautiful property with a monument in the front yard, big 2-story house, church, grade school, teachers and students' living quarters, and a Bible school, besides 10 outstation churches with their native pastors. The buildings were old and badly in need of repair. The house had been used for years as a storage of grain and meal for the Bible school. It was infested with rats and fleas, the largest and meanest I had ever seen. We moved into this nest with our 2 babies, Patty and Grace. The area was infested with deadly poisonous snakes, scorpions, and pythons, but we did have the most beautiful hibiscus and poinsettias I had ever seen. The girls came back on weekends from school in their uniforms, which they were required to wear there. We fought the rats and the fleas, wept and prayed, and trusted the Lord to take care of us. Many people at home were praying for us too. I could laugh through my tears because of that. And as I remembered the promises of God, when it was Christmas time and the boxes came in from overseas, sometimes from people who didn't know us personally, but who were praying for us and they cared, how happy we were to be remembered and wished everybody could know what it meant and how much we appreciated them and everything they sent. We enjoyed the sun and the beauty of the big yard with the babies at the mission. Patty was a pleasant child, but life was difficult for her and Gracie, and they were sick a lot. Patty was allergic to the flea bites, which made huge sores on her legs. We made many long trips to the city to the doctors. God's protecting hand was upon them through it all. Business meetings and fellowship with our staff and co-missionaries in the area with Reverend Melvin Snyder from the States was a special treat. The native single girls with their teacher at the Bible school in uniform with Adlie, and with their teachers at the Bible school in uniform with Adlie and I. These students would be going to their home districts, taking the gospel with them to their people. These girls went to this government school located on the mission. They studied the 3 R's and attended the local church. Reverend and Mrs. Reynolds on the left were our missionary co-workers on Emmanuel Mission. They worked in the local church and outstation churches as well. The assisting native minister used the bullhorn for announcing the services. They were a team and traveled by foot or horseback when unable to take a vehicle. You can imagine what it was like to greet loved ones back in our wonderful country after almost 7 years. Yes, God did take care of us. He protected us from disaster. He took care of the babies and protected us from the ravages of the insects and animals. Our bodies were exposed to TB and other diseases, but has He not looked after us to see this day? What a wonderful God. Howard Barefoot, Adlie's brother, and his wife Dorothy greeted Adlie with Patty in his arms as we entered the terminal at Indianapolis, Indiana. We were so tired, but so happy. There's my sister near me on my left and my mom next to me. There were so many hugs and tears of happiness. Everybody looked so much older, but wonderful.